the Bullpen of Doom, where we review because we care, in association with The Bloodshed. Wikidam with you tonight to bring you another great metal album review. Tonight I'm bringing you the 20th installment in the Welcome to Montreal Metal City series. And for that occasion I chose a band that is pretty special. If you've listened to the intro music, I'm sure you're intrigued because I'm saying it's a metal band and it didn't sound that metal, but I think you gotta stick around because I think you're gonna discover something pretty epic. And well, on another note, I want to apologize because I couldn't do the King Diamond week like I said I would because I ran into some trouble with my AV equipment, so it was a little hard for me to record. But I'm probably gonna go back to that in the future. It's not cancelled, it just pushed back, but I wanted to apologize to you guys for not doing it. So stick around and we're gonna review this awesome album by Kids Eat Crayons. Kids That Play Among the Ruins. Second album by Montreal-based jazz metal band Kids Eat Crayons. I gotta tell you guys, this album is pretty awesome. It's something I had never heard before, and I actually didn't know that band before receiving that album. But I met the singer at a Pain of Salvation concert, and we got to talking because he knew somebody I knew too, like a friend in common, and we got to talking and he told me he was in a band that was playing a blend of jazz and metal, and I was like, well, okay, if you say so. And I told him, well, send me an album and I'll listen to it, and if I have something to say about it, I'll review it. And well, he did, and let me tell you something, guys, this album kicked my balls pretty solid. It's an awesome album, starting with the cover art. If you can see it here in the blown up picture, but the band is called Kids Eat Crayons. You can't have it simpler than that. That's it. And the CD is pretty simple too, but it does the job. You got a nice sober booklet with everything you need to have in it. Song lyrics, credits, band members. You don't have a picture, but still, you got everything you need to, like, in infos. So that's pretty great. And if I talk about the songs, well, you got 13 songs on the album. But what I like the most about it is the 5-song series about a guy called Winston. This Winston guy is pretty fucked up and has a pretty fucked up life, but what can you do? Life is life, and you get what you get, and you can't really do something about it except what you can change, but sometimes you just can't change stuff and you're stuck with it. But still, Winston has a fucked up life, but he managed to get by, and that's what I think is pretty great about it. And there's actually one of the songs called Winston is Asleep that is in both English, Italian, and French, and that's pretty crazy because it goes from one to the other in like every little verses, so it's pretty great. And what I like about that band is that they can be pure jazz and pure garage rock, thrash metal, and if you take these two genres separately, well, jazz is so technical, and the guys that play jazz music are musicians that have been practicing for like 20 years. And on the other hand, if you listen to garage rock and thrash metal and, well, more garage rock, you get guys that have been playing for like 2 weeks and start a band and sound like shit. But you can't sound like shit in jazz. You just can't. But these guys, they managed to take two very far from each other's styles and merge them together and do something and create something that is just out of this world awesome. And I think you guys should really listen to it. And another thing I have to say about this album is the great, awesome, amazing performance of singer J. Phil Major. This guy is awesome. He can sing with a clean jazz voice that is just a delight, and he can go from that to screamo, thrash, almost death metal vocals, which is out of this world. It's just so great, and it shows a lot of talent, and it shows a lot of commitment to his passion, and this is something I really like about the album. So it's pretty awesome. It's really, really awesome, and I know I'm saying awesome a lot, but it is awesome. And this album, the other thing that is pretty great is that usually jazz albums sound like nothing you can ever complain about. It's always pure and clean, and everything is at its place, and everything is awesome. But on the other hand, thrash or garage rock albums usually sounds like shit. And if you take bands like The Strokes or the earlier album of The Killers, they sounded like shit because they were garage rock bands that just drifted to something else. And I'm a fan of The Killers, don't misunderstand me, and The Strokes too, but still, their albums sounded like shit at first. And but if you listen to that album, it works. At times it sounds a bit more dissonant because, well, thrash is thrash and garage rock is garage rock, but they managed to bring it back in such a great way that you don't mind that it sounds like that. And I really, really think these guys ought to be known, and you ought to know these guys. You ought to listen to their music because it is something to listen to. I could like spend 2 hours telling you to listen to it and describing that album from cover to cover and describing every song and telling you everything that is in those songs, but I wouldn't do it justice. You have to listen to that album to make it what it is, because it is awesome. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. If you like jazz, if you like thrash, if you like music, if you like good music, well played music, if you like passion, just listen to that, because this is what these guys are. They are passionate. They are musicians that love what they do. They don't care about popularity, about mainstream, about money. They do what they like. They do it well, and they deserve to be known. They deserve people listen to their music, and they deserve a break. They deserve a chance, and I hope I'll be able to give that to them because they are amazing. So that's about what I have to say about the actual album. So we're gonna move on to the more technical part of the review, so stick around to hear what I have to say about that. Okay, so, well, I already talked a bit about the production side on my other part of the review, but I'm gonna talk about it some more right now with more technical stuff. First of all, the jazz portion of the album sounds like jazz. It's well mixed, well EQ'd, awesome sound, awesome performance. These guys are pros. These guys are real jazz musicians that like other styles, but it shows, and you can hear that these guys, they studied jazz. They didn't study anything else. They studied jazz, and they know how to play jazz, and this is something that is pretty rare because a lot of musicians think they are jazz musicians, but sounds like shit, or sounds like crap, or aren't good, or whatever. So these guys are jazz musicians that play metal also, and this is pretty great. The metal parts are a little less cool in a way. They're good, but they don't sound good. But I think it's something they wanted because it's like the merging of garage rock and jazz. And it's not that it sounds bad, but it sounds like garage rock. And I'm not a big fan of garage rock because I have trouble with albums that doesn't sound good. And well, I don't have a lot to say about that other than that, well, you gotta listen to it to see how it is. It's good, it's well played, but if I'd have something to say, something bad to say about the album, it would be that the rock or metal parts sound a little annoying at times. But I think it's a fair complaint, and it's nothing bad about the band, it's nothing bad about the performance. Maybe it's a studio thing, maybe it's an issue about whatever happened in the studios, maybe it's the sound technician. Sometimes these guys, they pay guys to record their albums, and they end up doing a shitty job. So I don't know what happened there, but if I had something bad to say about the album, it would be that the metal parts can become annoying at times. But it's still an awesome album. Don't misunderstand me, it's still an awesome album. Dogs That Play Among the Ruins is one of the greatest albums I've heard in my life. It's something else. It's something you won't hear every day, and it's something you have to listen to understand. And you won't like it on the first listen through, I'm pretty sure. I did, but I'm a big jazz fan, so I was kind of sold at the beginning. But if you don't like jazz, or if you don't know jazz and you want to get into jazz and you're a metal fan, I think it's the greatest way to go, because you'll get what you want. You'll get jazz and you'll get heavy guitars and screaming, and so I think it's a good entry-level jazz album, and it would be also a good entry-level rock or extreme rock album, because the parts that are rock, and they are great, and they may sound bad, but they're still fun to listen to. And this is something I want to point out. They do sound bad, but they're still fun to listen to. And like I said earlier, singer J. Phil Major does an awesome job. This guy really impressed me. It's crazy. He can sing like an angel and then sing like the devil. He can sing like Michael Bublé and then go to like Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, and down the middle to Mitch Looker from Suicide Silence. So it's it's pretty impressive coming from one guy, and I think it's something that has to be mentioned, because well, he kicked my ass, and I thank him for that. And I think this guy has a great future in music. I hope he won't stop. I hope he will still carry on singing, because he does it with passion. He does it awesomely, and the songs are well delivered and well played, and all of the other guys in the band are awesome. They're playing their instruments like gods, and I have nothing else to say about that. I was impressed, and I'm not that easy to impress, but these guys, they did impress me, and I had to talk about it, and I had to say it, and I'm happy to bring this band to you, and I hope you will listen to it. I hope you'll get that album. It's on Deezer. If you're a Deezer subscriber, it's on Deezer. No, that one isn't on Deezer, but the first one is. But it's on Bandcamp. So if you're a Bandcamp subscriber, or if you're a Bandcamp fan, go on Bandcamp, listen to the album. It's free to listen to on Bandcamp until you have to buy it. But if you like what you hear, just buy the album, please, guys. Support the music, support the independent artists. It's important that you guys download albums from Iron Maiden or Megadeth or Metallica. I don't give a shit. These guys, they made their money, they're rich. But guys like Kids Eat Crayons, they play every show, and they don't have a lot of money coming from that, and they sell like 20 albums, and so if you like what you hear, please buy the albums, support the independent artists. Sorry. I think it's important that we support our independent bands, because if you want them to survive, they have to make money in a way, and these big corporate machines, they steal everything and they don't care. So that was my little rant about music, about the music business. But please listen to that album, go on Bandcamp, listen to it, and if you like what you hear, buy the album. It's worth it, I'm telling you, and you won't be disappointed, I swear to God. It's a pretty good album. So with all that said, that's all from me. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the Bullpen of Doom. Give us a shout, write to us, write comments, send us suggestions. If you want me to review an album, just tell me. Send me an email, and I'll do it. I'll do my pleasure. You got a band? you want me to review your album, contact me and I'll do it with pleasure. I like what I do and I like doing that, and I hope you guys like it too. So that's it. So please give us shouts, we like that, and find us on Facebook, and we'll be on Twitter soon and on Instagram. Find us there and just tell your friends. So with all that said, was Wikidom saying take care, good night, and stay metalheads. Cheers.
There's no food on your plate, but there's meat in the fire. I don't believe